Greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you're watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than a live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to be part of the live stream and the following after party. Here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench, which is right below in memory of our friends. Now, if you're not a member or if you're not logged into Stunthangar Forum, the At the Bench link will not appear. Now, if you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying. That's courtesy of Jeff Riley. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address or Sparky. The proprietor of Stunthangar will not approve you. Now, if you're inclined to not come in, but just enjoy watching this on YouTube, wonderful, fantastic. You can enter your questions or comments in the chat box over here. I'll do my best to make your comments or questions a part of the show. Understand, now sometimes I can't get a word in myself. So be patient, and I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comment. And by the way, you only can do this during the live stream. So like I said earlier, I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, if you find the Stunthangar Video Hangouts that I host or the many building videos that Sparky does on this platform informative and enjoyable, please hit the thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Share the videos, comment on the videos. All these activities help the Stunthangar YouTube channel grow. Please consider joining Stunthangar's YouTube channel memberships, which start at just $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. And by the way, I'm a member. I have the $4.99 come out of my own checking account. So I'm not asking you something I'm not doing myself. I don't have to do that. Okay. Now, did I mention that subscribe? You want to please subscribe, share, subscribe, like. Those activities help the Stunthangar YouTube channel grow. Now, you also can show your support using this super chat, which is right below the chat box. It's like a big $sign. You can donate any amount you like. It's not a subscription, unlike the YouTube membership. That is a monthly subscription that I have come out on my own checking account. Okay. Now, this is Sparky's YouTube channel. Now, if you want to get in touch with me, because I don't check the comments, I set up the show, I stream the show on YouTube, and I really don't come back until the following night, and I don't go on Sparky's channel to check the comments. So if you have anything directed toward me, please go to my YouTube channel, which is called Flying Control Line Stunt. That's Flying Control Line Stunt. And if you'd locate the 2019 AMA National Championship video, which is a video that Sparky shot with his video camera of me flying his beautiful light, and it's a Junar XL, but it was orange then. And if you've been watching Sparky's YouTube channel, he's actually been working on the Junar XL. It's white for the most part, and there's some orange trim, I believe. Anyways, that's the plane that I flew at the Nationals. Beautiful flying plane. And you can see me do the stunt pattern at the Nationals. It's kind of one of my bucket list events in my life. And I was judged by 5 judges. So anyways, it was neat. So please check it out. And if you will subscribe and like there as well, I appreciate that. Now, I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. Please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words or do things you wouldn't say or do around your own children or grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm going to now post the link at Stunthangar Forum, and we will get this show going. So let me do that. I'm going to post that link right now. Right now. I don't normally say it like that. Let's see here. So let me go to what I call the control panel. That's on Sparky's YouTube channel. And let me check out what's going on there. See how many viewers we have. See what's happening. So let me go there now. I have 3 monitors I keep an eye on with the show. That way I can see what's going on in the chat box and what's going on as far as analytics of the show and the stream quality. So just a few more clicks and I'll be there. I'll be cooking with gas. I didn't go flying today. I usually try to go flying on Mondays and Fridays, but I didn't make it out there today. Too much going on. My youngest daughter is her 16th birthday. Sweet 16. And say, hey, Bob, I see you there. Just 1 second. Let me just do a few more edits here and you have my undivided attention. Let me see here. Click that, and here we go. All right, so that's all set up, and looks like Lynn is making his way in here too. So we have 7 concurrent viewers, 5 likes. If you haven't hit the like button, please do that. And I see Let's RC says, I really enjoy watching your show. Thank you so much. And let's continue to draw from our stream of knowledge of all these people. We have people around the world here. We have people from New Zealand, Canada, Indonesia. I know Greg Biswick is, I think he's from Argentina.
It took me a while to go through all of these.
Yeah, I got you here. Thank you, Lynn. Appreciate that. So anyways, you was in here first, Bob. How you doing, Bob?
Oh, pretty good. Made it back from Vancouver okay. I had a great time down there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to maybe when we get more people, you can share the airplanes you acquired and what you thought of the event. So I look forward to hearing about that. And hopefully we hear from Steve Smith. I think he went actually he's going to Dennis Adamison's contest. Oh, but Mark Lumen actually said he went to his very first contest. I think he went to El Dorado. So hopefully you hear back from, and we never did hear back from Mike Lunke or Mark Wise about Triple Tree. So hopefully we get to catch up on how these contests went.
Will Davis posted some videos with mostly stills, which had them on it.
Yeah, I saw the video of something Marie. I think Rick Huff's wife. I saw her fly, and yes, that's pretty good. So I know not to give everything away, but so did you compete in Vancouver, Bob?
Well, it wasn't a contest. It was just fun fly.
Fun fly. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was their usual monthly meeting, and I wanted to get down there and meet the guys. And so actually the first day that I was there, it was just Chris Cox and me out at the field until later in the day. So
wow, did he have his Migas there?
He had his new MiG. Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It's a nice looking airplane. I don't know if I'm pretty sure the one I saw last year is the one you're talking about, right? It's red.
This is a brand new one, red and white.
What was the old one?
He's built, well, it was similar, very similar, but this one he pushed to build it a bit lighter. Instead of all composite for the fuselage shells, conventional composite, he actually used a thin balsa core with glass on either side to shave off a little bit of weight on the fuselage and whatnot. Airplane flies beautifully. It's just gorgeous to watch. Very
good. Very, very cool. Very cool. So how many flights do you think he has on this new one?
I don't know. I didn't ask him. He's putting in about 6 flights a day because that's how many batteries he's got for it.
Wow. That's a pretty good amount of flying.
Yeah, or at least on the weekends and stuff, anytime he's got available. He's retired, so I presume any day it's nice, he's out there.
I bet. Let me say hi to Lynn. How you doing, Lynn?
There we go. Yeah. How's it going?
Going good. Going good.
Good, Lynn.
Bob, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. I was just telling Charles, I just got back from Vancouver the other day and
Good show.
had a good time out there with Chris and the guys.
Yeah, that's
Brought back a
awesome.
bunch of stuff. I took 5 airplanes with me. I brought those 5 back plus another 5
Well, there you go.
and a
That's the
kit.
way to do it.
And
That's
I
the
just
way to
acquired
go.
a shoestring kit tonight too.
Oh,
Oh,
wait a
that's
minute.
awesome.
I walking in the middle of the story here. So you took 5 and you brought back 5 more. Is that, I mean, did you leave them in a dark place alone or something like that? Or-
Yeah, it's called a van. Yeah.
Oh,
Actually, that's part of what I went down there for, was to pick up a few more airplanes. But the big thing was to get away from it all. Kim and I had talked about it a while back. I've been trying to get out there since September, and it was just something coming up all the time on a catastrophe with health and whatnot. And finally got away. And it was we were thinking about it. It's been at least 20 years since I've had any me time.
uh-huh.
So it was really nice, even though it was the trip there was a voyage from hell with all the road construction.
Mm-hmm.
Normally it's 12 hours. It took me pushing 23 hours of driving to get there.
Whoa! Wow!
Wow.
Did you stop and
That's a
say
long,
goodbye in
that's
a
a long
hotel?
drive.
Just like a-
I left Edmonton at 9:30 in the morning on Thursday, and I stopped at Lacombe, about 80 miles south of Edmonton, for about 3 hours to do some flying of full-size planes. And then I carried on through some nasty thunderstorms and ducked into the mountains by a place called Rocky Mountain House, and took a highway I've never driven before. I've flown over it God knows how many times, but it was a beautiful drive. And I got turned south to pick up the number 1 to go to Golden, BC. And I missed it by 20 minutes. They were doing nighttime road closures for some kind of construction. So that was a 3.5 hour detour to get to Golden, because I had to go almost to Banff and back up. And then I slept in the van for a couple hours there, and then carried on and had breakfast at Revelstoke. And one thing, I'm going to give my compliments to Denny's restaurants. They're consistent. The food may not be fantastic, but it's good. The old guy's menu is just about the right size for me. And they give a 20% discount to military veterans.
Wow, that's good.
I thought that was nice. So I use Denny's when I'm traveling. And anyway, I kept going, and
No relation, by the way.
yeah. And so I hit a couple more bouts of construction where I had to wait a half hour or so for a pilot car to take us through, and this and that. More detours, and passing by Merritt, I decided to take a little break because I saw a motorcycle museum on the side of the road. So I spun around and went in and spent about an hour and a half. And there was a motorcycle in there that I almost bought in 1980. And I should have, because the guy that bought it just left it in an unprotected shed, basically, no environmental control. And that what had been a mint condition 1947 Indian with 12,000 original miles, perfect condition, is now a wreck. It was the same bike that I was going to buy back then. And anyway, so I took a little break there and then carried on. And by the time I got to my motel in Delta there at near the flying field, it was 6 o'clock at night, Friday.
Wow.
So
That's
so I'd been in either in a van seat or a small airplane seat that entire time.
wow.
So it was a bit of an ordeal, but next day went out to the flying field and met Chris there in the morning, and him and I both did some flying, and then we went off to the meeting for the club there. What a great bunch of guys. And of course, I succumbed to temptation and I bought another airplane there.
All right.
But
I imagine you must have learned something from hanging around Chris. Darn
right.
Anything you
Yeah.
passed on to you want to share with us?
I don't know. It's hard to say. It's more by observing. A pro at work, his stance, the little things that he carries with him for professionalism to get perfect wind location, as he carries his own windsock, has a collapsible pole for it. All those little details that I think make the difference between so-sos and pros.
Yeah, right.
And just watching even his body language as he's whipping the plane around for a perfect landing and stopping it dead, straight in front of his stooge that he took off from, and all of that stuff is really great just to see the professionalism in action.
Right. Now, was his wife Joan there?
No, never met. Joan wasn't around. It was Mother's Day weekend, so it was all the family stuff. So I didn't get to do quite as much interaction. I wanted to go over to Chris's place and see his shop and duck out and see his airplane and stuff. But with the family stuff all going on, that didn't happen. So I'll have to make another trip.
Yeah, you should. Let me catch up on the chat box. Let me welcome Denny. Dennis, thanks for coming in, Dennis. Dennis, I missed him. I appreciate you coming in. Jack Snavely, he's also a member of our YouTube channel. He says, hello, all around the world, just saying hi. Thank you, Jack. Appreciate that. And Tom Ramel says, like provided. Thank you, Tom. And Gary Sinclair, he says, like provided. He's a member of our YouTube channel as well. And he has the blue wrench, so he's a monitor out there in the chat box. And then Anthony Lashi, I think. He says, good evening, pilots. Good evening. Well, welcome, Anthony. Welcome aboard. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Get comfortable. We're going to be talking about model airplanes for a couple hours here. And, so, Danny, what you been up to, Danny?
Well, first thing I just noticed here, just when Mark got in, we finally reached parity with our Canadian audience participants. So
Yeah.
So that was quite a thing. Good to see Stuart and Lenny and of course Bob. Haven't seen Bob especially in a long time. Sounds like
I was
quite a
on
thing
2
there.
weeks ago.
Are you still dealing with wildfires out there?
Oh yeah, big time. Today we finally got fairly extensive rain, and it calmed some of them down, and the smoke is dissipated immensely here. I might even be able to go to work tomorrow. An example of the smoke on my trip back, when I was getting near Banff National Park, driving through the mountains, I could just make out the mountains right beside the highway. Smoke was that heavy. And everyone was just staying indoors. Some people taping windows and doors closed from the inside just to keep the smoke out. So yeah, it was bad. We still have a great many fires out of control, and some people have been able to go back to their homes, and then other communities are being evacuated. So I think on average, we were having about 30,000 or so people evacuated at any given time.
Wow.
Well, let me continue on and welcome Stuart. Thank you for coming in, Stuart. Appreciate it. And then Mark Gerber, thank you for coming in. I appreciate that too. And Gary Sinclair, thank you for coming in, Gary. Thank you for the like in the chat box. Appreciate that. And happy birthday to John Miller.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Young man.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, I'm on my, how would I put it? Quad 20.
Very good. Yeah. Very good. So how you
Never
feel?
thought I'd make it this long. to be honest with you.
I think 80 years old is something that you think, oh man, wow. And then when you make it, you're like, wow, I made it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you got the 4
And then
score. You got the 4 score. You just need the 7 now.
you need the 7. And it's funny because when I was a little kid, somebody was 80 years old. Man, they were old. And I don't feel that old yet.
That's
Yeah.
great. That is great.
Heck, the RC club I'm with up here, they give you a free membership when you hit 80.
Oh, I'm moving up there.
Mhm.
And you
And
got
that's what, 8 years old in your second childhood, John?
Actually, quad 20s would be better. 20 years old. I'm almost legal. So
Yeah.
but not quite.
Well, if you're in Canada, most places you're legal at 18.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
and you got to get in touch with Lanny Shorts and see about getting that 80-year-old club hat.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah. I did some work for Lanny on some airplanes he wanted to build. So
Yeah, get in touch with him
Oh.
unless you want it to be presented to you at VSC, you know.
Oh, yeah. Well, I let him, they were asking if you'd ever been to the Northwest Regional, so I answered that and filled it in today. How you doing there?
Hey, Joe Gilbert's in the house. Hey, Joe, how you doing?
Charles, how you doing?
Doing
All
good.
well.
Joe,
Good to see you. Hey, you came in
Thank
for his birthday. You came in for John Miller's birthday, huh?
Good. Happy birthday, John. Congratulations, young man.
Thank you, Joe.
That's
And
pretty
use-
good.
Use that young man loosely now.
Oh, I think most of us have gray hair, John.
Or
Yeah.
missing.
Or missing.
Missing,
I like
yeah.
that.
Well, mine is some of it's missing and most of it's gray. Now,
It's all right.
the
You're
only
ticking.
one I know that's still flying and is older than me is Denny's flying partner.
Yeah,
Wesley Dick.
yeah.
Yep.
Yep. What is he, 93 now?
What?
Wow.
No,
Wow.
he just turned 91.
Oh, okay.
He's still
Just
a
a
young
kid.
kid.
And,
And we're trying to get him into Nat shape here. So,
There you go.
Wow, good stuff.
mm,
That's
And what-
amazing.
what about
Yeah.
Lanny? Lanny Shorts flies. How old is Lanny?
I think he's 86 or 87 now.
Wow.
Wow.
So
He's
I'm getting-
Lanny's a
joining
force
up
of
with the-
nature. He's still energetic and active, and he's a
He
real,
and Lois
he's
are
really
good.
great.
Yes. Good.
Well, John, you got another happy birthday wish from Gerald Wimmer. He says, "Hi, Charles, and all those on Stunthangar. Happy birthday, John."
Thank you, Gerald.
And Anthony Lashi says, "Thanks so much. Awesome. I'm excited about that." And then Tony Dallas says, going to the Northwest Regionals in Roseburg, Oregon. Anybody else going?
Oh, you're gonna love it.
I wish I was going. Next year, I keep saying next year, but maybe next year.
When you go to a contest, they got 47 different control line events going on. You know, that is a big contest.
Yeah, they have everything, don't they?
Everything.
Paul Jabot from here is going down there. He usually kicks ass in speed. So
Yes, he does. And he can eat a barbecue ribs really good too. I've seen him do it.
oh, that's his favorite. Yeah. He's got a couple of new planes to take down for speed and
FA
for racing. No, he's 15 size, and I'm not certain what engine he's got in the speed plane.
Wow. Those little half A jobs were unbeatable there for quite a few years.
Yeah, I'm very lucky to have him available to hand any of my engines to for work or a bit of machining I might need or anything. And then we
Oh,
horse
yeah.
trade. I supply him with wood and all kinds of other stuff. So
Oh, yeah.
wood being hardwoods and whatnot. But yeah, so we get along great.
You know, another group I've wondered about, and maybe Joe can fill it in. What's happening in Oklahoma in Tulsa? The
We're
club's
still
still hanging together.
Flying and mowing grass. Fly and
You
mow
still-
grass once or twice a week.
Are they
What it's all
gonna
about.
have their big contest this year again?
Oh, yeah, sure. Uh-huh. Yep.
Is the
on the
camera
street
still
goods.
working?
No, the camera's not working and none of us know. Bob's gone, of course, and he was a guru on that. So we don't know. There's just 7 or 8 of us. We can't afford to spend money hiring somebody to fix cameras. We're
I
doing
understand.
well to keep the grass mowed. You know, we got 3 circles to mow and all the patty stuff too. So we're mowing a pretty good bit, but it's all right. We got a place to fly. And we got the sanctions in place. We're going to have a contest.
What events are you going to be running?
Stunt, old time, classic nostalgia mixed together, profile, and PA on Sunday. So 3 on Saturday. Classic nostalgia, old time, and profile. Then stunts, just PA stunt on Sunday.
Oh man, I'd love to come over there. I don't know if I can do it, but
We'd treat you so many ways you'd have to like one of them.
I like strawberry malt shakes. So, that's just a
Oh.
little hint. No, we're
They're
working
really
on
good if you
getting
make
my
them
little,
with strawberry liqueur.
oh yeah. Then I can't fly afterwards.
So I got an
Yeah.
airplane to show for you, John, or Denny, or Dennis, or see if you recognize it.
Make you big here. Hang on 1 second.
What it says, it's a guided star.
Yeah.
Do you recognize that at all?
I've heard the
Well, it
name.
looks-
I'm not real familiar with the airplane. Joe
I
didn't.
mean, obviously,
You
it's
had a
old
guided
time.
whistle, didn't you?
Guided whistle. It's hanging up there at the hangar. It's up
I
right
think
above my
guided.
head.
I think the guided star was a consolidated kit.
I
Roughly.
didn't know that airplane.
Heck,
Yeah.
you could cut yourself on the leading edge on it.
Yeah, looks like it.
But it came with a virtually brand new LA-25, and I couldn't pass it up. So I bought the engine and got the airplane free. Paid $50 for it,
Very good.
and
That's
that's
a good
Canadian.
deal.
So that's like $30 or whatever American.
Yeah,
The bargain.
got a bargain for sure.
Big.
Yeah, I
barn.
We
got
got a
something else
warbird.
I want to ask you about too. I'll just grab it. You guys would be the ones to know, maybe.
Is that a spad sitting over his head? The wing of a
Yep.
spad?
Yeah, built that back in 1975, I think.
Oh my
Got a-
goodness.
Got to finish some repaint on it and put an engine on, go flying it again. Just picked this up tonight. Shoestring kit.
Oh
All right.
yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
I got one.
My
just like
question
that.
about it is this black and white labeling and stuff. When did they come out with that? And when did they come out with the red boxes, the colored ones? Because my original Cosmic Wind that I got in 1971 had the red box. Now, did this cheaper labeling thing come out before or after that? I wonder.
I think it was like the tail end of the production run. They were
Yeah, right
running
near
just
the end.
basically black and
Near
white
the end.
labels at that point,
That's right.
Okay.
cleaning
That
out
was
what
right
was
near
left.
the end.
In the
Mhm.
late 60s and early 70s, they had a green airplane on them. They were fancy Goldberg,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Everything was in color and the
Yeah.
labels on the end of the box and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
I
I got
remember
something
the-
else neat tonight too that I just picked up on impulse. It's got to be one of the first J. Roberts bell crank assemblies. And I hadn't seen one like this. It's stamped tin, sort of a double layer one.
Never
Yeah.
seen that.
And I got the packaging and the instructions and everything with it. And I just, I probably wouldn't use it, but I thought
Is
it
that a
was,
5-inch bell crank?
no, this is a 3-inch.
3 inches all.
Yeah, that'd be all it is. But I just never seen anything like
I
this except the modified ones for class 1 and 2 carrier that people used to do.
Yeah, it looks like a
It's-
really heavy duty unit, but I agree
Yeah.
with you. I've never seen one like that.
Seen one.
So I just couldn't resist it when I saw that. I'll show you the box for it too. It's very old school.
I always thought the guys that designed that
Yeah.
were pipe smokers, man. They smoked some pipes to do that program.
Yeah, so that just something to add to all of the crap that I've already got that I didn't need. But
Well,
It makes
stuff
you
is
feel
stuff.
good,
You
though.
can never have too much stuff. So
Yeah, he who dies with the most stuff wins.
yeah, and then their wife was pissed off trying to get rid of it.
Just
Yeah.
dig a hole and bury it.
I'm trying to figure out how to lose that game.
Yeah.
I gotta get rid of stuff.
Well, I know I'm not
I don't-
going to outlive many of you guys, so I won't be able to pick up on your, estate sale.
Well, I also brought back a ARF flight streak with Brodak 25 on it, and another smoothie because, of course, I needed 2 of them with
Yeah, you
Brodak
never have
40.
enough smoothies.
With a 40, and then whatchamacallit, an Oriental with a profile with a Brodak 40 on it.
Nice.
And I also got a Viking kit that was started.
Was the
Brodak.
smoothie on the latest kit that Brodak has, or was it an earlier kit?
I have no idea. It was
tell
put
by
together
the
and
wing.
flying.
Was
If the
it,
wing is kinda
was it
skinny.
Brodak or Vico? Do you know that?
Well, this was an ARF, so I presume it's
What's a
a,
Yeah,
Brodak?
it's Brodak.
That'd be
So that's a
Brodak.
lot-
yeah.
I
So I'll see
want
how those
classic-
Brodak 40s run.
Hey, they're great,
Good
dude.
motors. Yeah, they're
Put
good
a
motors.
10.5 APC on it and 20% nitro and find something that'll beat it.
Wow.
They love nitro.
Yes,
At least
they
in
did.
Tulsa. At least in Tulsa, when it's 90, they love nitro.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Okay. I have to keep that in mind. I just been using, I think 10%.
Yeah, but
They'll run on to
you're much lower altitude there, Charles.
Yeah. Like 700 feet.
us. We're 625 here, but when it's 90 degrees outside, I use nitro on everything when it's 90.
Tried flying my Pathfinder in Phoenix, 110 degrees on
30%.
10%.
Do
I was on
30%.
Yeah, I was on 10%, and
Yeah, it wasn't going too
terrible.
good. Yeah, I'll
I had
bet.
to go up to 20% before it got anything like it was.
You bet.
Well, we're at about 2,400 feet here, but it doesn't really usually get terrible hot. You know,
Right.
the hottest we typically get in the summer in August would be about 30 degrees, and that's Celsius. So that's
84.
around 80 something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just curious about Stuart. Have you done any flying or did you finish repairing the tutor? Made any progress on your twister?
I haven't done any flying yet. I'm hoping to go tomorrow. I got both the tutor and the other blue plane fixed up, so
Oh, good.
I'm back at her. You're
All
going
right.
to Glenn?
Good stuff. I'll be there. Yeah, I'll be there in the morning. 10
Good.
o'clock, 9:30, 10.
Yeah, sounds
Lynn,
good.
I got something funny for you and Stuart when I showed up in Vancouver.
Right.
I'd forgot to pack a hat with me.
That's a
So I
problem.
opened my toolbox and I had a hat in there. I was pretty embarrassed to put it on, and of course, I immediately caught shit from Chris Cox, and he gave me a different hat because all I had was a Mac hat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, get rid of that thing. Yeah, I bet Chris Cox just about put a bullet through that. Oh, yeah. Hope you left it there for him to burn.
We talked about that. I'm thinking
That's
rather
funny.
than burning it, I might haven't gone out with my firearms for several years. I might have to go out and do a bit of blasting with my Mac stuff.
There you go.
Hey,
Yeah,
who else is there in British Columbia with you?
Well, there was Chris there, and there was Alan. What the heck's his
Singer?
last name? With Rare Bear.
A pretty airplane.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Flies beautifully. And Barry that does the videos on his acreage in the mountains. I don't know if you've ever seen him. He's dedicated. He goes out and snowplows a circle in the winter and goes flying.
Oh my.
But anyway, he was there with a couple of his planes, was Focke-Wulf 190 and another one. And I don't know, it's just a bunch of the local guys hung out, had a good time, had a fantastic lunch while they had their meeting, and
None of the
Ran
guys
that-
from Alberta showed up, huh?
just me. It wasn't a contest or anything. It was just a fun fly and a get together. More of an escape for me.
Yeah.
And so I got in some flights and tried out those little 15 powered things. Man, I'd never flown anything that small besides 049s. I discovered that boy, do they need engine offset. I had nothing for line tension.
See what I got
I'll-
here?
Make it big here.
See what else I got here? Here it goes.
You can just put a big X on it.
What is
I
that?
think I got a better idea. I just cut this little sucker right in half.
All right.
What is it?
Somebody posted on the regular forum about Chris and the bunch there, and he says, but it's okay now to talk about them because they're all AMA members now.
Yeah, I think that's going to be in my short list too, is to join the AMA. Just out of spite, if nothing else.
Now,
Yeah.
does the AMA recognize Canadians when they
Nope.
join? Nope.
You just take out a membership, I think. I don't know.
Oh, okay. So you're good for any American contest. What about Canadians?
Well, Canadian, you have to have MAC.
They don't have reciprocal with AMA.
We
huh?
used to until this. I was about to say a word. I
Yeah,
can't say
don't
it.
use that bad
Yeah.
word. Be nice.
Until our illustrious leader decided that to lie about Transport Canada requiring MAC membership for Americans to fly models here, which is a bald-faced lie. And it was a money grab. They're charging what is it, Len? $40 or something for a 3-month membership.
That's right.
Wow.
I'm going
criminal.
on to the AGM in June here in a couple of weeks, and all but one of the things on there, their proposals, I'm voting no on.
I have Mac because I need it to fly at our fields. Otherwise, I would not even consider it.
It used to be such a fantastic organization, and it's been about
Outstanding.
5 years they've destroyed it.
Yeah.
Wow. So sorry to hear that.
I want zero to do with it. If I had my way, we'd all have private insurance and not even need Mac. But you see, what would happen is it would wreck it for the FAI guys. Because what would happen is that they wouldn't be able to fly at the world champs.
On that note too, the control line regulatory proposal from them that we're rejecting soundly, apparently they're jamming it through anyway and not even considering our committee's requirements on it. Like, have you read that, Len? That
Oh, yeah.
up to 61 max for a 2-stroke and 90 for a 4-stroke for stunt. Well, for control line period.
Say that again. What are they asking for?
They're saying that they're going to regulate for a control line for 2-stroke engines, maximum 61, and for 4-stroke maximum 90.
That's retarded.
Yeah.
I mean, so what's that saying? That I can't run a 75 and I can't run my Roadjet 90 because they're 2 strokes.
Or 67.
Or my 67 or it's
anything, or
absolutely wrong. The
Sato
whole thing's
91.
wrong. The whole
Like,
thing's
name me
just
a-
wrong.
I don't know if a 94-stroke. There's 91 Sato. I used to have one, but so it's just absurd.
But I mean, a lot of the common engines that we use in stunt, they're saying we can't run.
Yeah.
So you
It's
take a
just ridiculous.
file and you file it off and you scribble a 61 on all of them.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
idea,
that's
Joe. I
it.
like that idea.
I like
Yeah.
that.
File it off, grind a 61 on it, and stamp a 61 on it, and go on live.
Yeah.
They don't know
Well,
the difference anyhow.
Yeah, they wouldn't know the difference anyhow. You're right. They wouldn't, Joe. They wouldn't have a
Well, we're
clue.
already planning on hitting them with the FAI rules, which they have to abide by. They're supposed to, which allow up to 91. Anything.
Well, why would they bother taking that off?
Because they're morons.
Like, is this
I got a better
Mac,
word.
or is this to do with the government?
No, this is
Mac.
our C flyers that MAC appoints to oversee control line.
Dumbers.
I see you, Mark. Just a second. Let me first. I meant Mark Wise. I see you. Just a second. Let me introduce and welcome Mark Gerber. How you doing, Mark?
Good, Charles.
I'm
Hey,
just
Mark.
curious, to catch up to what you've been up to with the Bearcat. What's been going on with that?
Well, I flew it on Saturday and
All right.
took some more weight out of the nose.
Oh, good.
So got rid of 1.25 ounces, which was good.
Wow.
And then I started having what I think are glow plug problem. But I haven't been back up yet to verify that. But I had adjusted the tank height and I tested it on Saturday and I got like within less than 1/10 of a second difference in the lap time between upright and inverted.
That's pretty good.
You're in the
Yeah.
ballpark.
I thought I was home. And then the next flight, all of a sudden, it started acting really strange. When I was going inverted, it would get really rich and slow down. And I finally hypothesized that it was the glow plug because when upside down, you know, so the oil can get more in the top of the combustion chamber.
Correct.
If you have a really hot glow plug, or if you have a weak one, it'll impact your run. So
Yeah.
I put in a new plug and I'll go back out tomorrow and see how it comes out.
What type of tank are you using, Mark?
I don't know how to answer that, John.
Metal or
Homemade.
plastic?
It's
Metal or
homemade.
plastic?
It's homemade.
It's homemade. It's a clunk tank. And it's model off the one that Raby used. And my friend Dick Carville said to use, which is it's not a uniflow, but you bring the muffler pressure back into the vent in the tank. But you vent it at the top or on the inside, not down by the fuel
Right.
intake. And so far it's been working fine.
Yeah, that'll work fine. They still will speed up a little bit toward the end, but then that isn't always a bad thing. So how did you raise your tank or lower your tank? You got a shim you put under there?
Yeah, it's got tubes through the tank.
And you had
Or
it pretty
screws.
close.
The Keith
Yeah,
Trowson
pretty-
method.
Okay. And you had it pretty close and then it changed and says that you suspect the glow plug.
Yeah,
So
it was worse than before I started adjusting the height. So something's going on there.
Yeah, it sounds like you need a hotter glow plug to begin with. I'd try that.
That's what I was gonna say, a fresh, hot glow plug.
So
Yeah.
like I said, I'll go back out tomorrow and try it out. I think if it's working tomorrow, I should be ready to start flying patterns.
Wish you the best on that.
Brodax is coming, y'all.
Yeah. Hey, Joe Gibbert, have you seen Mark Gerber's Bearcat?
I saw he sent me pictures of it. Yes, I have.
Oh, yeah, beautiful.
I'm jealous, but it's all good.
Yes. And let me welcome Keith Trossel. Thanks for coming in, Keith. And I'll be right with you. And then Mark Wise, welcome. Thank you very much, Mark. I see your hand was raised digitally. How you doing, Mark?
Oh, I'm doing good. I got to tell you, Charles, I'm a little concerned
Uh-huh.
that I tuned in tonight and one guy is cutting his hat in half.
Yes.
And other guys are ready to storm the capital of Canada.
Yeah.
So-
No, this is important stuff, Mark.
Yeah,
I'm
this is
sorry I was in South Carolina, but now I see I have a place here.
Well, Mark, we're thinking that we should bring you up and, you can take over Mac.
Well, I have a proposal from Pampa into the government of Canada that we just move the United States border a little further north. So you guys can join AMA and get rid of these crazy people.
Yeah, take it up to the Arctic Circle. That's a good geographic location.
Well, if it's round, we could fly there.
Yeah.
A little
You
chilly.
can fly on the North Pole and always go the same. You'd be going south all the time.
Yeah.
Actually, rather than moving the borders, I think what we should do is get all of us to be declared ambassadors, and then we can do whatever the heck we want.
I don't know what it is, but every time I go flying lately, I feel like everything's going south. I don't get it.
Wow.
Oh,
Charles,
boy.
Can I tell a politically, well, I heard a good joke, so I just want to pass this along.
okay.
Moses and Jesus decide to play golf one day. And they finish the first three holes. They get to the fourth hole. It's a par three. There's nothing but a tee and a green and a big lake. So Moses gets his 4-iron, tees it up, hits it over the water, missed the green a little bit, but it's close. It's a decent shot. And Jesus goes to his bag and he pulls a 7-iron. And Moses said, Jesus, there is no way you can reach that green with a 7-iron. And Jesus said, that's the club Jack Nicklaus uses. So Moses says, okay. And Jesus takes a mighty swing and hits it right in the middle of the lake. And Moses says, I'll tell you what, I'll part the water one time for you, but you need more club. So he parks the water. Jesus gets the ball, puts it back on the tee, and I'll be darned if he doesn't take that same 7-iron. And he hits it again right in the middle of the lake. And Moses said, I told you before, I'm not doing that. If you want to go get your ball, you're going to have to walk on water. So Jesus starts walking across the lake. And the next foursome behind comes up, and one of the guys comes up to Moses, and he said, does that guy think he's Jesus Christ? And Moses says, he is Jesus Christ. The problem is he thinks he's Jack Nicklaus. So that's
Pretty good. That's good.
that's it. I'm done.
I thought this was
awesome.
going to be the one where he drove the ball and it started skipping on the lake, and a bird swooped down and grabbed it, flew over and right over the green and dropped it right into the
Dropped
cup.
it in the hole. Yeah.
Very, very good. Very
And he says,
You know,
when are
Mark-
you going to quit messing around and play golf?
There you go.
You know, Mark, you're talking about Jesus walking on water. We don't figure that's anything special. Any Canadian can do it 6 months of the year.
You
Very-
got a point there, Bob.
Good
very,
point.
very good.
You got a
Let me
point.
catch up on the chat box. The show is off to the races, and I'm just getting behind. Let me see. Last thing I left off was Mark Lumen. He said, "Happy birthday, John," and he's just in glasses, like cheering, you know. And he had a great weekend at El Dorado contest. Great time.
He
Well,
did. He had a good time.
Oh, you was there too, huh?
I was there. He had a good time. Mark had a good time.
Yeah, he said. I remember the show before. He said this was his first real contest. So I imagine he had a really good time.
He did. He was like a kid in a candy store, man.
Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome. And then Let's RC says, "Happy birthday, John." And Dennis Adamison, who's also a member of our YouTube channel. Thank you, Dennis. He says, "Let's have everyone leave a like for Charles and tonight's chat." Thank you very much, Dennis. I appreciate that. And then Tony Dallas, he has a question. Okay, so the question is, why would you move the lines on the wingtip? What issue does it fix?
Ooh, lack of tension above 45 degrees is one of them.
Better turn, more stable if you do go back. 100 things. Yeah. Put it a half, 3/4 inch behind the CG and fly the hell out of your airplane.
Yep.
Anybody else?
Just, the big picture, just trying to adjust the tangency of the airplane to the circle.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you can, intuitive works pretty well. But sometimes certain airplanes fly better with the lead outs in different positions. If in doubt, you do exactly what Joe just said. And that's going to serve you 90% of the time. And even the other 10%, you're going to be able to fly your airplane just fine. There might be a better location, but it's not going to be a night and day difference.
Yeah, not far off. That's
Yeah.
right.
I think Ted Fancher wrote that just a thumb's width behind your CG is a good place to
Yeah.
start.
I can't argue.
I was actually a couple of years ago, I got back, I don't like building old time airplanes with adjustable lead outs because it just doesn't seem right. It's,
Oh,
Yeah.
come on, Dennis, you don't mind putting electric motors in them?
I
Don't worry
put
about the
electric, I
lead-ins.
put monocoque, I even fly them on Spectra, but I
There
draw
you
the
go.
line at
So,
adjustable lead outs,
see,
right?
everybody has their own little quirks. that they say,
Yeah,
"No,
that's
you
it.
shouldn't
So that's
do
my
that."
that's my little quirk to authenticity.
All
And
right.
my game was just to put the front lead out on the CG, which means the middle of the spread is about a 1/2 inch behind the CG. Joe said 3/4 of an inch. We're in the same ballpark. All right. So
Okay, Dennis. I'd like to see you build a couple of the airplanes that were published back in the 50s, I guess, maybe 60s, where the bell crank was located as close as they could get to the trailing edge, and the lead outs came as close as they could get to the trailing edge.
I've
Holy,
seen those. Oh, what's his name? Didn't Williamson?
Williamson
he
did
have one of
called
those?
the gyrator.
Yeah.
oh, I've heard of that.
Gyrator's a good flying airplane, but I put the lead outs where you normally expect to see them.
Yeah.
And he had an
Well,
interesting comment in the article. It said, you look at, see where the bell crank is and lead outs are with relation to the CG, and you can see why it works. Well, he never showed where the CG was.
What about
That-
the ones that you had a 3-inch bell crank and the lead outs were 3 inches apart at the wingtip?
oh, that's
I-
about all of them. Yeah.
Not
I've
all
played
of
with
them.
it a lot.
What's that?
My ringmasters have a 3-inch bell crank in them. And that one I flew for so long, I didn't do adjustable lead outs. I was wanting to keep it light. And I cut that sucker apart at least 3 times, moving the lead outs and the wingtip and gluing them back in. But I've played with that. On a ringmaster, you put those lead outs 3 inches apart and still have the middle of that 3/4 inch back. It ain't all bad.
Mhm.
Huh.
It'll still fly.
The ones I like are the lead outs are 3 inches apart, and the bell crank is it doesn't have a bell crank. It has your favorite control system here.
Oh my God.
Your favorite, that's right.
Right.
Yeah, your favorite control system here.
That was
So
to get around the Jim Walker patent.
Yeah,
that's
what
it.
That's what it was about.
Well, that guided star I just showed has the lead outs look like they're about 3 inches apart. So they're
Mhm.
probably right in
Mhm.
line with the bell crank.
It'll fly. And, I guess if you one line it and the down lines in back and or in front, that could make a difference. But if you're one line in the airplane, you're gonna have trouble.
Yeah. Something is broke.
Yeah, that's bad. It's all bad.
Thank you, gentlemen. Let me continue on. The next thing is Tony. That was Tony. Then Paul Taylor. He says, "Hey guys, like sent. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate that." And then Anthony Lashi. He says, "Whoa, sounds like you guys are dealing with what the FAA might bring to us here in the U.S. May not be in writing yet, but give them an inch and they'll take a mile."
Heck no, they'll take 10.
And we're all caught up there. And then
So Dennis, I figured out why, just thinking about why you're insisting on fixed lead outs on your old timers.
Why is that?
That's so that everyone will be looking at that.
He
No,
locked up. They be looking
we
at
lost
that.
you. We lost you in mid-sentence, Bob.
yeah.
He's
He
still locked up.
locked up.
He's locked that, yeah.
What are you going to say, I'll bet, was they won't be looking at your Monaco and all the other things you did.
Hey, all I know is 2015 at the Nationals, I got the Spirit of 52 award. So stuff it. All right.
There we go.
There you go. Whatever
And you
works.
won too.
They gave me that what is this? You know?
And you
What did
won
it- you
too.
know, I mean, I don't make
Yeah,
any
but-
apologies for what I'm flying and everything like that. I recognize
right.
it, but whatever else it is not Spirit of 52. Oh, but by the way, I believe my good buddy Joe there was flying a guided whistle with something on ignition, and was giving him fits and everything. That engine was great when it was running. I mean, the RC pylon guys on the other side of the field, they're calling over on the walkie-talkie. What the heck's that noise coming over there?
Anderson
Yeah.
Spitfire and a humongous.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
geez.
I won
No.
with that one time at the Nats, an old time. I won the Nats one time with that airplane. But you fly ignition, look, just put your thumb on the table and take a hammer and hit it.
Oh,
Dennis,
let's
what you
see.
got here? Dennis is showing us.
Uh-oh.
This is
What
a
is it?
plan I'm working on called
That's a zip,
called the Little Roadie,
Little
and
roadie.
it was actually. I just wanted to make one special point here.
Look what the bell crank is. How big is that bell crank, Denny?
I don't know. You see the lead outs?
Yeah.
See the push rod? And you see the note?
Install your
Hey.
favorite,
Do
install
what
your
you do
favorite
well,
control
Dave.
line system here.
Just put some pulleys in there and run the cables back, push pull on top and bottom.
There you go.
No kidding.
That's it. That's it.
Wow.
Yep,
Yeah.
nothing like your favorite system.
Yeah, if it's someone's new, what would it be?
Huh.
Stop them in their tracks, wouldn't it?
Mm,
Charles, could I tell them a little bit about Triple Tree?
please
Yeah.
do.
Oh, yes.
Please do.
The big view, and I'll tell you my view. The big view was it was a great year. They had about 925 pilots show up this year. You can imagine 925 pilots coming to your field. Thank goodness we didn't have that many. But we had a great week. It started with 5 combat matches on Saturday and Sunday, and I met a whole bunch of people I hadn't met before. Some of the best in the country, from Texas, all over the place. And that was awesome. They loved it, so I invited them back next year to fill up the first weekend. And then we had open flying and ring rat flying. And one of the famous people there is a guy called Uncle John. I think Uncle John might be 98 now.
Wow.
He's been a full-scale pilot till about a year ago, but he's a relative of Pat Hartness, who started this whole thing. And he came to me and he said, hey, I need a favor of you. I'm going to bring 3 busloads of senior citizens down, 1 busload a day, and I'm hoping you can get one of those people to fly a ring rat with you. So the first day, the bus came, had about 25 people. And of course, senior citizen is a relative term. You know, I'm a post-senior citizen, so I'm not sure what it is. But it was interesting because none of the men volunteered, but this one woman volunteered to go. Will Davis took her up for a flight, and by the end of the flight, she had soloed.
Wow.
And she was just thrilled and probably very excited on the bus. The next day, another bus load came, and I got a woman to fly with me, and she soloed, and another guy flew, and he soloed. So that, you know, it's for all ages, I guess. I got to tell you about my experience with Bill Werewich's P-47. I think you've seen it on
I
here.
saw the video. Yes.
Yeah. And I became a mechanic. With all the things going on, a couple of people thought that I should be making all the changes to that airplane. What I didn't realize was when I put it out on the field, how many people knew what it was. And they've never seen it live, and they've never picked it up. And we spent a bunch of time putting an airplane that was designed for glow and trimming it for electric. And by Friday, it just flew. It was on rails. It just flew wonderfully. And 2 people came up to me, and I asked 2 people if they'd be interested in flying it, and they couldn't believe I asked them.
Yeah, I can't believe
One
it.
was Dave Fitzgerald, who's probably a 12-time Nats champion. He's a world champion. He said, I've never flown one of Billy's planes.
Oh, wow. What a treat.
And so I gave him a fresh battery. He flew it. He came off the field. He had this big smile on his face. And he said that made the trip worthwhile just in itself. Just flying that airplane.
Wow.
And Derek Barry wanted to fly. We didn't have the time.
Mm.
But it was nice to see a piece of history getting its due justice. And it was
That's
one thing
awesome.
that David had pointed out to me, that when he flew it and I was watching him fly it, it flew like Billy flies. I mean, that airplane was designed by Bill for Bill, and you could just see it rotate through corners. It just went through corners a little differently than a lot of other planes. Flew just wonderfully. I had a interesting task. I had it has a Fioretti timer in it, you know, an accelerometer.
Right.
And I learned how to set it And Joe Daly, who was helping with all this, he would come over and change the settings, to get it the way he wanted. And while he was out, Rick Huff came by and he changed the settings to what he thought was right. And but we got it right. It flies out of this world. It was a lot of fun. Very few down things. One was Tryon flew his plane and the wings folded.
Oh no, it's revolution.
no.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, it's too bad.
Yeah, it's not the first time, but he took it well. He said he knows what happened, and that's fine. So we had a great week. Particularly, it's interesting. We had no one in the advanced category.
No,
Really?
oh man.
We had beginner, we had intermediate, and we had maybe 12 or 13 in expert, which was a great class. You have Joe Daly, who was on the world team. You have Dave Fitzgerald. You have Derek Barry. You got Rick Huff, who's a good pilot. You got Craig Cundner, who's a really good pilot. And that really went well. So it was a great time. Only one day of questionable weather. It's a place you just got to see. And they took a picture of me running the big mower. Triple Tree is all about volunteering.
Mm-hmm.
So you get these big mowers made by Toro and other companies. And I got my lesson again on it, and I drove it down about a half mile from the maintenance shop and cut the grass. So you do a lot of different things when you're the event director down there. That was one of my chores, and it was actually fun. So great contest. Will and I, our next stop is Brodak, which is probably about 3 weeks, Danny? Something
Not
like that.
long coming up.
About 3 weeks. Yeah.
And then we go to the Nats, and Will is competing. I'm not. I'm just trying to get the everything right and get the banquet right and just have a great time. So it was a great time. Sometime if you can get down there, get down to Triple Tree, you'll have a fun time.
Wow.
Hey,
Mark,
Mark, how did the RC guys react to combat?
Had the RC guys do what? I'm sorry.
How did they react to the combat?
Oh, they loved it. The only thing they loved as much as combat was Mike Lonke's son flying the Pulse jet at night.
Oh, I'll bet.
If you closed your eyes, you thought you were in London during World War II.
Yeah.
It sounded like the buzz bombs coming in. The combat guys were awesome, and I invited them for two reasons. One, the first weekend is quiet, so I thought that would jazz it up. It's great for spectators.
Yeah, it is.
And we're there for control line. It doesn't have to be stunt. It's
Right.
kind of like this forum.
Absolutely.
And I learned a lot about 5 different categories and how they set up their motors. And it's pretty amazing watching these guys do what they do. They're really good.
they're really good.
They're really good. And when they understand the scoring systems, not only are they good, but the points are moving as you're flying. There's an event. It may be speed limit, combat limited. Anyway, I think it's a 4-minute flight, and you get a point or a certain number of points for every second you're in the air.
That's right.
So if you go 4 minutes, you'll get your 400 or whatever the number of points is. If you make a cut, I think that's about 100 points.
It's 100 points a cut. That's right.
Yeah. So as you're flying, let's say you're up by 2 cuts. There are pilots that are smart enough to think to themselves, you know what? If I drop my plane down early and just cut the prop on the ground, I'm up enough points that I can't lose.
That's right.
So there's a lot going on. It isn't just flying.
It's a lot of thinking.
A
Exactly.
lot of thinking. I learned that good combat pilots never watch their own plane.
No, you never watch it. I used to
No.
fly speed limit. You never watch the
There you
plane.
go.
You're
There
watching
you
the
go.
other guy's plane. You're not watching yours.
Yep.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
you're dead. You're dead in the water before you get started if you're watching your own plane because you don't see him coming.
Yep.
In speed limit, do they have kills?
No,
Do they what?
no kills.
No.
Not anymore, no.
And they
No
have
speed. Kills are
they
in
have-
fast.
they have a kind of a neat new, I guess it's new to me, it's called air to air. And if you enter an airplane that looks like a fighter, or a real airplane, a real military airplane, you get quite a number of points. And there was one guy there, and I think it was Bob Mears, and he and his wife run that organization. He had a triplane, a Fokker, that didn't
Wow.
fly very quick, but he said it was pretty maneuverable and it was worth the extra points. It was interesting looking at the construction. A lot of them buy their combat ships from, I think, the Ukraine. They get 6 or 12 in a box. They're amazingly strong.
Yeah.
And I think they were maybe $60 US each.
That's about
And
right.
considering how many they go through, that's really a good deal.
It is. Yeah.
The engines of choice seem to be a Russian motor. I'm not sure if it's Russian or Ukrainian. They didn't know what pitch their props were. There were 2 guys over there that make them, and apparently they don't care what their pitch is because these 2 work so well. They have the same glow plug issue that we do. Where do you get them?
What it's called.
And their engines, they can find plugs. A lot of them use Nelson motors. And apparently that has a very unusual plug. It's not a straight up and down plug. It's kind of coned. But these boys can fly, and before and after the contest, they're burning fuel. So we learned a lot. They had a good time. Will Davis made breakfast every morning, which was fun. And after that, we all went to the men's room, but the food was good.
Very good.
But that's it. Good time.
Thank you. Let me catch up with the people who came in. Keith Tross, I didn't get a chance to ask you about your big job and how things going with that.
It's a big gray glob right now.
Good.
So right now, the big job refers to the sanding he has to do. So
Yeah,
There you go.
just like I say, it's just a great big gray glob.
All right.
It looks good in gray.
Yeah.
Hey,
I bet
by
it
the
does.
way, Keith mentioned this airplane a little bit ago. Look where the bell crank is. And
Oh
lead
my
outs.
goodness.
My.
Wow, that's
It's
weird.
gonna have line tension.
Gonna have something. What it doesn't have is like Keith said there, you should put the bell crank behind the CG. Well, where's the CG or Henry? So
The
There's-
article doesn't say where, anywhere. It's not on the
no,
plan.
and there is no mark. There isn't any hint here that I could see. So
It's a good flying
18%.
airplane. I built a couple of
18%.
those things. It's a good flying airplane. Yeah, it lands great.
Wow.
that
Got the
wing,
gear in a
that
good
leading
spot.
edge, boy, did you just try to polish that off or try to round it off the best you could, or what'd you do with that?
I kept pretty much to what that shows.
Wow.
Well, I can
That's
tell you, looking at it, where I think the CG should be, right about the
Well, I put
spar.
it, yeah, right
It should be on
about,
the
right
spar
about
and
Well, I mean,
there,
it-
you know.
see where the landing
Yes.
gear is.
A
Landing gear,
straight
no,
conventional wing like that, you gotta know where the CG is within a few fractions of an inch there.
Mhm.
18% would be in the ballpark.
Yeah,
That'd be
Yeah,
really
it's
close.
just- The layout is normal enough. Just build the airplane. It's going to bounce close enough to fly it, unless you put a really goofy motor on it or
Heavy
something
motor.
like that. So
Keith, how was the vertical CG on the ones you built?
I didn't have any problem with that thing. It just
Really?
seemed to work. Yeah, I know
Now you-
everything's above the wing except for the wheels hanging down there, but
mhm.
Now, didn't you build the Williamson Ringmaster and had some
No.
CG? No?
no, I didn't build that one.
Okay.
All
That
right.
one seriously needed dihedral in the wing.
But yeah, back to Keith's question of a few minutes ago. No, Keith, I would not build it this way.
You know,
Or if I did, I would put the lead outs probably right about up there, and I'd figure out how in the heck to get them around that big old swoopy curve or something like that.
I'd
Well,
tie
obviously,
that
just
bell
move the
crank
whole
to
bell
that
crank,
spar.
but,
There were a
yeah.
couple of other airplanes designed in that era. I think it's what, Joe Cole. He was a technical director at AMA for those early years. And he designed a couple airplanes, and he was championing the same idea, the rearward bell crank and rear location of the lead outs.
Now that airplane is the solution for the thread going on in the forum about what to do with heavy balsa. Because look at the ribs, 1/8 inch or whatever it is, I can't read, 1/16 inch hard balsa for the ribs, hard balsa for the cowl.
Soft balsa cowl.
No, you're looking below it though.
Yeah,
Look
yeah.
below, it's hard balsa chin on the cowl.
There we go. Yep.
Oh.
But anyhow.
Very cool. Thank you, Denny. Thanks for showing that. I didn't get a chance to welcome Jonathan Karadas. Thank you for coming in, Jonathan. And thank you, Steve Hines, for coming in.
Who? Steve? Who?
Steve Hines.
Hey, have you flown that airplane at all, Dennis?
No, I haven't touched it since we, well, aside from melting the ESC, I haven't touched it since, so.
Oh, okay.
Did you ever get a hold of that guy you thought might be able to fix it up for you?
No, I haven't got out there. I've been so busy that I
Yeah.
haven't even been to the RC field this year. So, well, I did go out there one time. Nobody was there. There's nothing when the meetings are at. I've emailed them. Nobody answers. So, hell, I don't know. It's the club's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. I mean, probably 20 guys there, which is considered a big club now, when that club used to have 100 and some people in it.
Yeah.
Oh.
But
okay.
I was watching a thing today for a guy who worked for Boeing, and he was doing batteries. And I don't know, I guess he worked on the Dreamliner and stuff like this, but there's batteries in these airplanes that they gotta monitor and all this kind of stuff. But he was saying the second worst battery there is to buy is a Thunder Power, that from all the testing, they burn up the easiest and all this kind of stuff. But he was saying the one thing was you never charge above, you don't even go to only charge at a half a C up until 72 degrees. Then you can charge 1 C on a battery. And you can't go to 2 C until it's 85 degrees or 84 degrees, something like that.
You mean the battery temperature, or you mean the ambient temperature?
Ambient, well, yeah, the battery temperature, they're thinking you're charging the batteries while you're flying or whatever. He also said that when you store batteries, when you're not flying them, they need to be stored between 50 and 60 degrees.
Wow.
Like hell, you got to have a root cellar now to store your batteries in.
Wow.
And
Shit. That means I got to get rid of all my wine.
yeah, but he said the worst thing you can do is store your batteries in like a hot garage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
Where it gets up to a certain temperature. He goes, you got to keep your batteries cool when they're in storage. And he said for every minute they're at full charge, the batteries are degrading. So if you leave them overnight after you charge, that's a certain amount. He goes, it's a time deal. And I heard that from someone else before too.
Interesting.
And what else did he say? Oh, only charge a 4. If you charge a 4.1, it will double the life of the batteries.
Yeah, I started doing that.
Yeah, I remember Dennis telling me that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said that charging from 1 C to 2 C takes twice as much life out of your battery as 1. 4 times as much as a half. He's like, charge them as slow as you possibly can.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
But yeah, and I'll find out what he said are the best batteries.
Okay.
But that one guy said he was at Joe Knoll, and that's where this thing came from. I got to get in and find his website. But he was at Joe Knoll there. But it says that he spends about $7,000 a year out of his own pocket testing batteries.
Wow. Okay. Well, obviously he knows what he's talking about. Spend that kind of money.
Yeah, but he has all the equipment because I don't know. He's like a subcontractor engineer for Boeing or whatever.
Okay.
And what he does is that I guess on these airplanes, like if you pull on the yoke or whatever, or it gives you feedback because of hydraulic. Nothing tells you, or fly by wire. There's nothing that really tells you that. So he does all the feedback stuff, and that's done with batteries and so he has to test how much power comes out of them or something. I don't know, but that's how he got into the battery thing.
All
But
right.
yeah, but he's saying, it doesn't matter. Everybody says, oh, don't leave your batteries charged more than, 2 days or a day or whatever. But he's saying it's just a time thing.
All right. Well, I'll keep that in definitely in mind. I can't afford to go through batteries again.
Like if you leave them charged for 2 hours, 12 times, that's like leaving them charged overnight. Does the same.
Okay.
It's linear on the degradation of it. But yeah, he's saying that, because they're using real expensive batteries that cost like $170 a battery and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That you charge them, you use them.
All
So
right.
that's why these guys you see at the RC field, they come out with generators and battery banks and all that kind of stuff. And they're, all these different chargers on a bench, and, they're charging all these batteries to fly for the day, but they're doing them while they're there.
All right. Keith was holding up his airplane. I think he got tired holding it. So your plane's kind of heavy, huh, Keith? Not as light as the other ones.
It's coming out, the weight I think is good or within the same range as what the last one was so far, I think, so. It's coming along.
That looks good.
Looking real
Very
good.
nice.
That looks like a big job.
That looks like a big job. Yeah, I love those twin rudders. That is so cool.
Mhm.
Very, very nice.
I got a question. Finishing lead outs on the outside edge. I noticed Keith doesn't have his finished, and I know it seems there's a lot of pictures online and stuff. People build their airplanes, they got them finished, ready to fly, and the last thing they do is tie the lead outs. I'm just curious, how do I'm at the other extreme now. I've actually I put the bell crank in for what I think is the last time, and I got the lead outs tied before I even have the center planking done. Because if I screw up the lead out, I want to be able to get to it and to replace it and stuff like that. So
I do
that.
And I do it the same way, but I do it to make sure that the bell crank is 100% 90.
yeah,
I got it pinned in place. I tie all my stuff and then go from there. But that's just because.
Just a preference, I guess. Huh?
Yeah, I put it together before and it's like, okay, where's center on the bell crank? I can't see nothing.
So why don't you terminate yours, Keith? Or why are you waiting, or why are you postponing terminating your lead outs?
That's just, I don't know, I've never done it this other way, ever.
That's
Oh,
it.
with your
We all
style,
develop
you can-
habits.
With your style, you can tuck them back in. I mean, if they're
Yeah.
not terminated, you can tuck it in, right? Because you have that slot and the adjustable lead out there. You could just tuck them in.
But, and then when you paint, you have to take thinner and scraper and all that to get all the paint and residue off these things, but
Right. So is it easier when they're not terminated to get the paint off and stuff?
yeah.
Okay. Very, very cool. Thank you very much for showing us that.
Mhm.
I would almost recommend that you get some of that RC push rod material. What do they call it? It's
Goldenrod or
gold rod, and take that inner core and slide it on your lead outs and attach it to it so that they just cover those wires.
Good idea.
yeah, it's a good idea. That is a good idea.
Mhm.
And let me see. Let me catch up. I think-
wonder, Jonathan, whether he had anything to say.
Yeah, I saw him raise his hand briefly. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Yeah, no, just I've got a question here from one of my mates, Bryce Rackley. He's working and tonight, but he asked me to ask you guys 2 questions. I'll just bring it up on my phone. Quite interesting questions. I'm not familiar with this model at all. He says, what's the difference between Randy Smith's SV11 and his SV22? They are very similar in size, but everyone talks about the SV11 and not the SV22. Yet I would have thought the 22 would have been an improved model. So that's the first question. And the second question is, what formula do you make up to clean the aluminium in the ultrasonic cleaner? White vinegar and baking soda, for example? What do you guys use, or what have you heard?
Yeah. Well, I've heard the
About that.
22 is twice as good as the 11, but I don't know. I think that's a little hyperbole.
What the 22 is that the katana? I think.
I don't know. He's got a
Like
lot.
Samantha had one of them.
I think it should,
The
just.
It's
SV11.
all it is wing tips and stab tips and stuff like that. If you they're within what, a couple square inches on all the models.
The SV11 has been around competitively since the 80s.
Yeah.
It is well proven in
Product has
competition.
the ARF and the ARC SV11 for a long
Right.
time, so.
But I mean, I remember seeing my first one. It was a contest in the 80s.
Yeah.
And it probably was developed at the very beginning of the 80s. And like Steve said, there's not much difference. It's just a slightly different look.
Yeah, you can
I
tell
think
your
it's more-
friend if you take a SV11 wing or SV22 or whatever, and you cut an inch off the wing at the center, it's now a starus or a vector. I'm wrong. If you cut 2 inches off the center, it becomes a vector 40 or whatever 40. You cut 1 inch off of each tip, it becomes a starus or a full-size vector. That's the only difference.
Okay.
I had Bob Hunt cut me foam wings, and so then whatever I wanted to build, I just cut off, set it on top of the plan, mark it, cut it off, and it's 2 inches and 1 inch. So
John,
he's only
it's
got to
basically
cut.
what trips your trigger.
Yeah, he only has to cut one wing, and then you can make any of Randy's planes out of that. And it's just how you trim the tips or the
What
center.
about the sonic cleaner question? Anybody have any ideas on cleaning aluminum with a sonic cleaner? What formulation they use?
Dishwasher soap. That's what Dad settled on with his.
You mean
Soap that
automatic
you use in the
dishwasher?
dishwasher. It's a low suds. It's a high
Yeah.
detergent content, low sudsing. Put it in the cleaner. It doesn't foam up or anything like that. And it's extremely good at cutting oil and things like that. So if you're
Okay.
trying to clean down to the base metal, and of course, as soon as you get it out of the cleaner, you try to rinse it off and dry it off, and put some oil on it, at least a WD-40, but preferably something a little better.
I got it. I'm gonna have to go back. I got on here and said something about what to use on an ultrasonic cleaner, and I had to test it. And now I forget what it was.
Well, you know what? If Bob Gore is listening, Bob Gore did some testing with his ultrasonic cleaner. Maybe Bob Gore, maybe you can, if you're listening to us, tell us in the chat or come on in. Now, I did purchase a special cleaning solvent that was specifically made for aluminum. I bought like a quart of this stuff, and one of the manufacturers of
That was it. Awesome.
Oh, awesome. Okay, let me make
And
that.
you get it for $1 a bottle at the dollar store.
Make that big here for you.
Now it's $1.25 store, so you can get it for $1.25.
Bucks in Canada.
Damn, you paid $2 for yours. Where are you shopping?
He's in Canada.
Oh, he's in
Oh, this is even more awesome, Steve. That's all.
I've also used I used to use Mr. Clean actually in an ultrasonic too. And I used to clean clocks with it, but it's something you could try. I don't know. It's
My cousin said that the awesome citric or the awesome orange, it's orange looking. He said that he's been doing aluminum carburetors on small engines and stuff, and that works great.
yeah. You can use the Mr. Clean too. I've used it, but this is the yellow awesome cleaner, so
Yeah.
either or. I mean,
My cousin said that the orange works better, but you know, that could be just in his brain that it's working. Who knows if it
I
really
didn't know they had orange. We don't in Canada. We don't have it. I don't think because I haven't seen it.
Oh yeah. It's
How much do you
awesome
what kind
with
of-
citrus or something it's called.
Do you use it straight or do you dilute it with water or
Dilute it.
use it straight?
No, I dilute it with some water.
Like what kind of dilution do you use?
I don't know, maybe
About that much.
It's on the bottle. You
Yeah,
know, different
I put
dilution
about-
rates for different stuff.
I might put a 1/2 inch in my ultrasonic tank, and then like it's about this deep. So just depends. I don't know.
All right, well, thank you.
Yeah, I just bought a
Yeah,
new
thanks.
ultrasonic cleaner, and I want to try all this stuff out too, but I just haven't had the time to.
You
Yeah.
ever buy an ultrasonic cleaner? Buy one with a heater in it.
I did. I got that Vivor. I got theirs. They had it on sale for $69 for the
Yeah.
heater and everything. So
If you get them with the heater, they're much more effective on the.
All right, cool. I think we took care of that then.
Oh, yeah, I had another question too for Len. Len, I might have got the wrong Len, but on the database on Stunthangar, I thought I sent you an email about the mosquito. You had it up the other day.
Yes. What was that question?
Oh, I just wondered if you had a set of plans, if you did any drawings. I was quite interested in them.
I will take a look and I'll let you know next week. I think I still
Okay.
got some stuff, and if I do, I can send it to you.
he's old.
Okay.
He'll forget by next week. You have to remind him again.
Oh, hey, Charles, to finish with, I got a joke for you.
Yes, go
What
ahead.
do you call an old guy who is mad on control line, but he gets very dizzy and giddy, and he's got big hair, big afro haircut? An aphrodisiac.
Oh, geez. Oh, jeez.
I like that. Oh, I like that. That's funny. I like that. That is very good.
My mind was going all over the place.
Yeah,
That's it.
well, he's not
That's it.
describing me when he said afro.
Well, maybe he had a picture of you in the old days.
Yeah, or maybe he had a picture of a young Phil Grandison.
Oh, man, he had an afro, didn't he?
Yes, I've seen some old pictures of Phil with an afro. Cool.
Or you saw Charles on Halloween night or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
You had one on Halloween, didn't you?
Yes, yeah. I'll probably do that again in Halloween. I any chance I can wear some hair, I'll do it.
There you go.
Any chance I can have some hair.
Truly, Charles, did you have like a Michael Jackson afro at one time?
Yeah.
Did you?
I mean, not
I
I mean,
figured-
it's as big as it could be. I mean, it's probably about like that big.
Okay.
Yeah, about that big.
That's
'Cause
awesome.
I knew you were into music. Michael Jackson, man, he had.
Yeah, huge. My
Huge.
sister's was at least that big. My sister's hair could grow longer than mine. And let me see here. So let me catch up on the chat box. Bob Whitley, he said he's also a member of our YouTube channel. Thank you, Bob Whitley. He says, I keep having power fluctuations and getting kicked off. So I'll catch you guys next. He said Monday. I hope he means next Friday. And Anthony Lashi, he says, there's a video about the battery info. If you guys don't mind me posting another channel's link, very good info. Yeah, go ahead. That's fine. That's fine, Anthony. And then Anthony goes on to say, I believe he said SMC are the best out now. Does that ring a bell, Steve?
Yeah, he was naming SMC, and they make a bunch of different brands.
Yeah, so that's what Anthony Lashi is saying. And then we have Arnie. He says, and he's a member of our YouTube channel. He says, checking in from Prescott Valley, Arizona. Arnie, do you know David Riggs? David Riggs lives in Prescott. And if you run across David Riggs, tell him I said hi. And then Terry Mitchell, he says, like sent. Great to see everyone. Northwestern Regionals this weekend. Happy flying, everyone. Well, you have a good old time there. I wish I was there, going to be there, Terry Mitchell, but yeah, you have a great time. And then Brent Williams says Western Regionals this weekend. It's going to be fun. So you're going there, huh, Brent? Wow, fantastic. Hopefully you get a chance to try out some of your new lithium-ion batteries. That would be great. Did I get a chance to? Well, Jonathan, have you been doing any painting or building or anything with model airplanes? I know you're waiting on your hip surgery to do any serious.
No, I've just been messing around with small jobs on, some of the stuff hanging up in the garage, just taking it down, maybe replacing a bell crank.
Down there in New Zealand too, just like Lenny does up there in Canada.
Yeah.
Do I what? Sorry.
Yeah, out here we call it a garage, and I know, and Lenny says garage.
Garage, yeah.
Yeah.
And we give them a hard time about it, but
So go ahead about your garage. Go ahead.
We say garage.
Garage.
Yeah, garage or man cave.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll
I
work.
think it has something to do with the Commonwealth. I'm not sure, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, blame it on the Commonwealth.
Yeah.
You say hoolie down there? It's blowing a hoolie.
It's actually not bad today. It's actually, I was talking to one of my mates and he was thinking of having a fly tomorrow. So
Yeah, so he
we'll
knows
see.
he knows that word anyway, because I was watching a YouTube channel of this guy from Scotland. And his hat's going and stuff, and he's like, it's blowing a hoolie, but with a Scottish accent. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's gotta be a Great Britain thing.
Yeah, no, we've got a lot of Scots in the South Island. I've got a bit of Scots heritage in me, and they came out, and when they moved down to the bottom of the South Island, they thought it looked pretty much like some parts of Scotland, so they called it Dunedin. They've even got a castle there called Larnax Castle, and oh yeah, they're hard cases. You don't go down there and escape without getting wrapped up in their hospitality down there, the deep south.
I was checking out the other day and I found out I got 47 relatives in Australia and 7 in New Zealand. Never heard anything about them.
Good Lord.
Would they all go to prison at one time?
Must have.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
that don't make them bad.
So we know what your relatives were up to at one time.
We must have all come out on the same boat, and they dropped a few off in the United States first, then they went to Aussie, then to here. But the funny thing between Aussie and New Zealand is that we always accuse them of stealing our stuff because they were often sent out there to Australia. It was a penal colony.
Yeah.
New Zealand wasn't. And they nick our stuff like our rock bands and Farlap the racehorse and, you name it, Pavlova cake,
Yeah.
And we're always at war over stuff, and we just end up saying, well, you guys are always a bunch of crims anyway, stealing our stuff. But it's all good. It's all good love and hate. I've got to be careful because I'm married to an Australian, and one thing I found, you never turn your back on them.
That's kind of like sailors and Marines.
Yeah. But
Jonathan and Steve, you guys know it's John Miller's birthday tonight. Did you know that?
Happy birthday.
So he's actually spending his birthday night with us. So we got to treat him especially nice tonight because there's lots of other things he could be doing with other.
That's it.
His
guys is Santa Claus.
Yeah, as old as we are, man, we just have all kinds of options for stuff to do at night.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you want to do? Lay on the couch?
That's it.
Or I can go
take a nap.
Yeah, take a nap, or I can get on Stunthangar.
Yes.
It gets late earlier every year. So.
I can go bolt the engine back in my airplane. If I can find the bolts.
And if you find the airplane.
Yeah, the airplane's in there somewhere.
Dennis,
It's funny you should mention that. That's what I did today. I
Oh,
put all the stuff back in the airplane so I could fly it.
let me see the airplane again. I was a little bit slow on the trigger.
Gotta
Uh,
see that again.
All right.
Oh, what is this?
Oh, it's an airplane I built a few years ago.
Ricky,
Believe it or
Oh,
not,
very
it
good.
started off as I built it from a Cobra semi-kit. Let me get it so I can turn it around here.
Got a lovely aspect ratio.
Well, that's exactly it. It's much
Beautiful.
smaller than a Cobra. It's actually got a little more wingspan.
That
But you
looks good.
recognize
Oh,
that
nice.
fin.
Oh,
Of course,
nice.
that's the only part of the Cobra that survived.
Uh-huh.
the rudder, huh?
Yeah, that's it. And of course, because it killed the Cobra, I had to give it the name
The name is
The
hidden upside down.
from the jungle or
Cavey.
Ricky Tikki Tavi.
what?
Oh,
What
Ricky Tikki.
yeah,
Oh, that's good.
what the mongoose from?
mongoose.
Yeah.
That's it.
Ricky Tikki. Tavi.
Ricky Tikki Tavi.
Yeah, so
Very, very cool, man. That's awesome.
but yeah, the cool
So
thing
did you-
it's tiny. It's only 520 squares and flies pretty well. One reason I wanted to get it ready is that I think Mike Alamoff is going to be coming to our contest this weekend. He saw the airplane fly a couple of years ago and he wanted to fly it. We weren't able to match up then, but he's mentioned it a couple of times, so I thought I'd have it
Where's
ready.
your contest at, Dennis?
Oh, right at the Fort Wayne field.
Oh, okay.
What engine did you put in the Ricky Tikki?
Oh, it's electric, of course. It's a
Oh,
I've had several in it. Today I put a Cobra in it, appropriately enough. So,
yeah.
and I didn't even
28,
realize that
20
till I
or-
said the words here. But
2820 or what?
yeah, it's a 2820. I had a 2815 in it, and it was big enough, but the airplane needed more nose weight. So,
Yeah.
but it's
Looks good. I like the looks on it.
yeah, it's a 6-to-1, which I
It's an
decided I
I-beamer?
liked better even than the 7-to-1 because it's just a bit more practical.
Yeah.
So
How heavy is it, Denny?
42 ounces with the ready to fly. So
Nice running.
That's
That's
remarkable.
yeah, we were at Brodak here a couple of years ago. I flew it in really windy conditions and had a nice flight with it. Mike was really impressed with the way little tiny airplanes don't fly in the wind, right? Well, just flies in the wind just
Well, I
fine.
don't know about that.
And
At our nationals,
so he wanted to try it ever since then. So
you know, it's funny you should say that. We were just talking the other day when we were down at the nationals. It blew a hell of a gale one particular day, and I happened to be judging that particular event. And the big stuff, the classic, there was big stuff like the Space Hound and things like that, big wing area. They were getting knocked around up high, and the smaller stuff was knifing through. If it had plenty of speed and power, it wasn't getting thrown around as much up high. It's quite interesting.
yeah, I think that there's something to that. I think the other side of it too is when you get caught in the wind, you're much easier physically to handle something that weighs 42 ounces and something that weighs 64 ounces, like most of
Yes.
the big airplanes do. All right.
Yeah.
And the airplanes are bigger, they catch a lot more wind, and they can become a real handful. So this thing here is just it just keeps on soldiering on through. So
What days are your contests? Is it 2-day or 1 day?
one day, just Saturday.
Just Saturday? Maybe I'll come
Yeah.
down and pick
Oh,
some
that'd be
stuff
cool.
up or whatever. And
Yeah, John Paris and Vince and Jay Williams are supposed to be here, and Bobby Mack, and Justin's last name. I can never remember that. I'll think of it. But anyhow, we're looking.
I'm not gonna get to go to Brodak
Uh-huh.
because I gotta babysit cats and stuff because Samantha will be on her honeymoon. So
Oh, whoa! We need an update here.
Oh, she's getting married, huh? Wow.
the 9th of June.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. Congratulations. Tell her congratulations.
Yeah. So besides having to take care of the cats and all that kind of shit, I'll be broke, but
Yeah, about that.
I've heard that story before from the father of the bride.
yeah, so
Been there, done that, yep.
Hey, John, I have a question for you, John. This is from Terry Mitchell. He says, hey, John, I remember when you and Gordon were promoting the Pathfinder at the contest in Seattle. I believe, what year was that?
92 or 93.
And 94 and 95 and 96 and
Yeah.
97. Yeah.
It
Okay.
feels so good. We just
Still
couldn't
promoting.
stop fighting.
so hell, that's a nostalgia 30 airplane now, isn't it?
Sure is.
Yeah.
Wow,
Right.
really? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Arnie wishes you happy birthday, John. That's Arnie
Thank you, Arnie.
Velarde. I think that's how you say it. I apologize. I don't know how to say your name. And then Philip Bailey, he provides with the like. So thank you, Philip. Appreciate that.
I
So
feel
how old are you, John?
80 years old.
Wow, the big 80. Cool.
Big 80.
Big
I'm a
80.
quad 20 now.
Yeah, very good.
You don't look a day over 90, John.
Thank you.
Nice.
And I don't feel a day over 110.
Nice.
Yeah.
I meant to ask Mark Wise a question. Mark, did you compete at the Triple T? I know you was busy helping the youth fly and all that, but did you get a chance to do official flights or anything for yourself?
No, not one,
Not one. All right.
not one.
Now you said there was no advance. So did Mike Lonke not fly in Pampa?
No,
Okay.
no, they were just flying combat.
They had to get back home because
Yeah.
school's still going on. This is finals week for them.
Okay. And McBride 001, that's Ruben. He gave us a like. Thank you, Ruben. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you very much.
Yeah. Hey, Ruben, is something going on with your Facebook? I keep getting friends requests from you, and I don't click on them because I didn't think you unfriended me. So, but
Scam.
We'll find out.
That's what I figured. You know.
We'll find out.
Yeah. See if he says something.
Yeah. See if
I had a situation once. I got Uncle Mikey, from SIG, Mike Pratt. I got a friend request, and I know Mike for years, so I answered it, and somebody came on, a bunch of bullshit, and they said, "Who the hell are you?" Well, I'm Mike Pratt. I said, "No, you're not." You know, and he got really downright, tried to chew me out for not believing he was Mike.
He probably was a different Mike Pratt. He might have been Mike Pratt.
No, it was a scammer. He was just screwing around.
Well, I forget there was a couple other control line guys last week too. So I'm thinking somebody's hacked the control line deal for Facebook.
Yeah.
And so I'll hit, they'll let you send them a message. And so I'll just message them. How do you know me?
Yeah.
And, so if they don't answer how they know me, delete.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been doing because that's like 3 in the last 2 weeks from control line stuff.
Right. Well, Mrs. Hayworth, who's a widow, I can't remember her husband's first name, but his last name, of course, was Hayworth. In the Tucson area. And I got a friend request from her, and she was a nice lady. So I answered it. And another thing came up, a jerk thing, and apparently, even after I shut that one down, I've been a friend requested 2 or 3 more times from that account. Her account has obviously been, compromised.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't know, if somebody's got the mailing list or whatever they call it on Facebook for control line stuff, but I keep getting all these friend requests from control line people. But
I have another comment or question from Terry Mitchell. He says, hey, Mark, looks like Triple Tree was awesome. Seeing a lot of pictures on Facebook. Whoever took them We truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh,
You know
thanks.
who took the pictures of Triple T? Was it you or Will Davis?
No, a lot of them were Will Davis.
Yeah, I've been watching Will's stuff about Triple Tree.
Very good. Well, thank you, Will Davis. And then McBride says, my son Steven now in love. Really? I'm just kidding. Got a very serious relationship with a new girl. Oh man. He's moved in with her and looks like marriage is in the plans. Wow.
All
Well,
right.
hey, as long as Steven's happy, I'm happy.
Good for
I
Steve.
want the best for Steve. That's great.
Just tell Steve to remember prenup. He has his own business now.
Yes,
That'd be like a friend of mine who had a fencing business, and now she has a fencing business.
I understand. That's a good point. It's all she money anyways when you get married. But that's good. That's good to hear, Ruben. So we're gonna still have the Las Vegas challenge?
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, but it's a different kind of challenge now.
You be CDing the whole thing, Ruben. You'd be like busier than a one-legged contestant in a ass kicking
Yeah.
contest.
That's it.
Well, Steve just got rid of a girlfriend here a few months back.
No, it's longer than that.
It's been longer than that now, but that all started out nice and dandy too,
Yeah,
and
I
then
know.
when all went to hell.
It's how they all start, though, don't they?
Yeah.
I shouldn't say all. It's how a lot of them start.
No, they all start that way, but most of them end a different way.
All right.
I should tell you a little bit what it's like being a harp player in a band with some of these little old ladies around here.
Oh my goodness. I gotta get this airplane out here.
For
I know that
sure.
once we start talking about women in
Yeah.
cars.
Bad scene.
Women and airplanes go together.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Save it for the
Probably
after
hit the
party.
gable out.
Yeah, you can tell us all about it. I mean, look what happened to Peter Navarre. We hadn't seen him in a while, right?
Yeah.
About a month ago, wasn't he? He's
Yeah.
building again, so at least he's building.
Yeah,
I got an airplane question for Mark. You were doing some stuff with kids and that. And, were you and supplying some planes or something, or to get them on the handle, or were those foam or were they balsa?
The planes we've been using for, well, probably 10 years. It's called a ring rat. It's made by Stevens Aero, and it's built up also. Maybe, I don't know, 24-inch wing. It's all built up, covered. I use Ultra Coat. They're very well designed. They really take a hit, and they can fly up to 52-foot lines. We use Spectra, and 2 or 3 cell battery, 8.4 bendable prop. And Stuart, what we do, which has really helped a lot, is that we've replaced the timer with a 2-channel receiver. So we control the speed of the airplane.
Yeah.
Okay, so which really makes it a lot nicer for the pilot. All they're really worried about is up and down. And I've probably built 22 of them. Terrific little airplane, though. You can keep it in your car. Joe, maybe 3 years ago at Brodak with a 3-cell pack, flew the whole pattern with this little
That's
ring rat.
awesome.
Yeah.
Did you do any in foam or anything? Foam board?
I haven't. We're trying to design, actually in Pampa, we're trying to design a, that kind of an airplane that someone can put together quickly and find the materials locally. Maybe Depron or something like that.
Okay. I was watching some stuff on Flight Test, but they had a quick picture of somebody, I think, on a control line. I didn't know if they had anything. I was gonna look into it just for reference. But okay, thanks.
Coral class would be a good thing.
Yeah, it's too bad that you didn't get around to the RC stuff and see what they had for little foamies there that you could, put a bell crank on and have a 2-channel,
Mhm.
You're only using 1 channel, and then take some of them little foamy airplanes from RC that are cheap and you know,
Maybe.
they have a flat wing on them and you could just put a bell crank up underneath it or on top of it or whatever and run it out to the elevator. And
These ring rats fly amazingly well and with almost no speed. But they just have a great airfoil, so we can really slow the plane down just about to a walking speed, and it'll stay in the air. So you know, that's important to us because you know we have people from 6 and 7 years old to 90 flying these things.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I have a comment from Ruben. He says, yes, the contest just got another helper. She's good with airplanes. That's good. I'm happy to hear that. And then Terry Mitchell, he wants to extend his well wishes to you, Dennis. He says, Dennis, I want to wish you the best on your contest on Saturday. Hope you have an awesome turnout.
Well, it's looking like it could be. So I don't know if I'm more worried about having too many people or too few. You know, I was worried
Yeah.
about having enough people to show up, and all of a sudden it's like,
Yeah.
we've got lots of people. If everybody comes who says they're coming, we're going to have a heck of a meet. That's, you know, so.
Well, with Sparky there, I should get some media coverage. Sparky's going to be doing some.
Yeah, he mentioned it on his videos. So I don't know. We'll see.
I
I
hope to
haven't
see
heard
some
much from
video
the indie
Sparky.
guys. Said they were talking about it, and haven't heard for sure that when they're coming or not. And
is the address and stuff?
yeah, it's all on the, there's GPS coordinates and everything on the on Stunthangar on the, go to download the flyer in the event section.
Oh, okay.
It's called the Rust Buster.
Rust Buster.
What else do you call the first contest of the year?
Yeah, really.
No.
Or this far north. We all
Yeah.
know what the rust is.
I
And
don't know.
then Terry Mitchell goes on to say, Ring Rat, the new 15 carrier plans. Thank you, Mark.
No problem.
And I was going to say, I'm trying to remember what I was going to say. Something on the very tip of my tongue.
I want to show one more picture if I can here.
Yeah, go ahead. We still have time.
All right,
I'm
this
good
is
at-
from
I'm good
last
at that.
weekend down at Triple Tree.
All right, Jonathan, thank you. This is from Triple Tree?
And this is
Yes.
Kermit Payne, I think his name is.
So I
This is
recognize Rick
last
Hahn.
year at Brodak. All right, I showed this airplane off at the chat. This is the Brodak Sterling Mustang.
Yep.
It did for the electric conversion. We raffled it off with the proceeds going to the museum. And I built it, and Steve bought the motor and battery and stuff like that. We had a complete package.
Charger, everything with
We had
it.
a couple of batteries, set of spiffy new Spectra lines and everything like that. Well, Kermit's been killing it with this thing, and this is his picture. This is the top 3 in profile stunt in Triple Tree.
Yep.
Wow.
Nice.
That's
I like-
third place with a freaking Sterling Mustang. All right.
Yeah.
So what
Wow.
plane is Rick Ruff have there? I see it's a twin, but what is it?
That's his own design. It's called a Bel Air. I think it's
Yeah.
it's built like the old Chevy.
Yeah, I've seen the silhouette of the side. Yeah, it looks like an old Chevy Bel Air.
Yeah, twin electrics. He flies it really well. It's a point and shoot airplane.
Mm-hmm.
Seems
And
he
then-
used to fly a Pathfinder twin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember having that at Brodak's when I went there.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, though, you know, it's all in how you build the airplane. And he got an airplane that was built true and straight and light. And
It's very important with a twin.
That's true. Now the gentleman with the Cardinal, who's that?
Barry Miller.
It's either Barry Miller or Brian
Oh,
Miller.
that looks like, yeah, it's kind of hard with that hat shot, but I think that looks like Barry Miller, who's come in the show several times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
And
Good
that's,
flyer.
and that's a good looking Cardinal too.
Mhm.
Yep.
Is that a Cardinal RF or did he build that? Do you know, Mark?
I don't know.
I don't think it was an ARF.
Yeah.
It's pretty fancy. I'd say he built it.
Flaps look a little bit narrower than the
Mhm.
kit.
Yeah, I want to tell you how we got everyone smiling. Will would take the picture and I would drop my pants. And,
I'm surprised they're
That
not
would do it.
crying.
Yeah.
yeah, it worked pretty well.
Yeah,
Surprised,
smiling and laughing.
surprised I didn't run.
Yeah, I'm surprised
it.
they're not crying.
I think,
I told him I was a veteran.
I think
Left,
we've shared enough here, haven't we, Mark? Okay,
Yeah, this show has been TMI.
that's enough sharing for one night, I think.
Did they get somebody to take the place of Jan at Brodeck?
Not really. They didn't, I don't know. They brought Debbie over, Debbie Barr. She used to work in the print shop. Then they moved her over to the hobby shop. And now she's doing what Jan did, but she also still works in the hobby shop and whatever. I think their plan is to find somebody else to work in the hobby shop. So.
Nikki still works there, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And Debbie did the printing, right? Then when they shut down the
Right.
printing,
They shut the printing down. She would, and she used to help Jan with some of the kit pack. Whenever they got busy over there, Debbie would help her out. So,
oh, okay. So
so
she
she's got some background in the kit packing and stuff like that, but
So Jan retired or what?
yeah, I could do kit packing, but they'd have to double the boxes.
yeah, that's it. That's
I can
it.
take one of them out of the kit and it's like, son of a bitch, this balsa swelled. It's a half an inch taller than, it's a half an inch thicker than it was when I took it out of the box.
That's it. That's why I never open the kit box until you're ready to commit build,
That's right.
because
Never
you'll never
open-
get it back in the box.
It's
Don't
okay to
ever-
open it and smell it. Just don't move anything around.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I've experienced.
Sometimes you can unroll the plans and
Yes.
get
Yes.
them rolled
Well, I
up
can't
tight
even do
again, but
that.
That's it.
You unroll the plans and all the wood and all that stuff
Yeah, all
falls
the-
out.
all
And
the
it's like then
sticks are
trying to get
down,
them tight
yeah.
enough. And it's like, how'd they get them plans so tight in that box?
Mhm.
Yep.
Mark, are you still there?
Who?
Mark Weiss is Mark Weiss.
No,
Yeah, you
I'm
still
looking at some pictures of from the weekend.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
No, I just
I'm out of
wanted-
here. I'll give you a call this week, Dennis.
See you,
All
Steve.
right, sounds good. But I thought you'd get a kick out of seeing that Mustang. But,
Yeah, really? I
it's
can't
just-
believe he's doing that good.
I should have kept that and give away the darn ringmaster. You know what I mean? But
Yeah. Who knew, you know? It's
Who
like
knew?
2020.
we sat there and tried to figure out, okay, what size battery, what size motor for it, and went through all that stuff for weeks and weeks, and then and it all worked because it's
Well, that's it. I figured it was going to be kind of an entry level kind of sport plane and everything like that. I never, I heard that they let him fly it in old time and he's done well in that. And he's flown it now in regular pro, and he's doing well with that. And it's like, holy mackerel.
I know he was really happy when he won it last year. I mean, he was
Yeah, he was. He was
really
tickled with it.
happy.
Yeah, Kermit told me that if that plane was straight, he could really fly it well.
He could have took first, huh?
Let me show you how you were posing people for pictures last week, Mark. Just everybody put it on private. No, yeah, just do that. All right.
All right, guys. See you a little later.
I'll see you,
Thanks,
Steve.
Yeah. Bye, Steve.
Anyhow,
We have a like from Edward Carlisle. Thank you, Edward. Appreciate that.
super.
And we actually got pretty close to 40 live viewers. We had 38 viewers at 8:30.
Wow. Probably because it was my birthday.
Yeah, probably because your birthday, John. True.
Mhm.
And then it went down to 31 when Mark Wise mentioned you taking off his pants.
Yeah. Well, there was somebody suggested that we all buy Red Baron pizzas and have a
Yes,
pizza party.
I think
for
that was
my birthday.
Lynn. I think it was Lynn Burrell.
No, it wasn't me.
Wasn't it you?
No,
Well,
I don't think so.
whose idea was it?
Can't
We
remember who it was, but sounded like a good idea to me. I got the oven
I
heating
did.
up.
It does sound like a good idea, but it wasn't.
Yeah,
me
we
that
all
came
should
up
eat
with it.
Red Baron pizza on John's birthday. Yeah.
Yeah, great idea.
Oh, we
If I had one, I'd have it right now, but I don't have one.
Yeah.
So what
Well,
should we
I'd
eat
send
to
you- I'd
commemorate?
send you one. I sent you one that we haven't quite perfected the beaming from Star Trek yet, you know.
There you go.
There we go. Mhm.
Let's not forget that Friday is Dennis Adamison's birthday.
Dennis 16 again.
Yeah. Oh, we forget it, after John, it's gonna be kind of an after that, anticlimax or something like that, but anyhow. That'll be it. Hey, they make a big deal about it around here. Cripe down in, my birthday's on Friday, and like Saturday night, WWE is running a great big pay-per-view wrestling show in
Yeah.
honor. And then Sunday down in Indy, they're having a big car race. All right. You're gonna get a half million people down there watch cars race, all because of my birthday. So
It's quite a birthday party you got going.
Yeah.
That's it. And I'm not even from Indiana. So I say,
Yeah, well, that's cool. Look, John Miller, my daughter's birthday is today as well. My 16-year-old daughter.
Well,
happy
congratulations.
birthday to
She's
her.
got to be a good person.
Yeah, I hope so.
Only the best people are born in May.
Yes. So
Well, there's exceptions. But
well, you guys, I think we should just end the live stream. I think we've kind of run to the end, and I really want to thank everybody for coming in and help us celebrate John Miller's birthday. And I didn't hear. I was expecting to hear more from. What contest was it? Oh wait, no, we did hear from it. The Triple Tree, the El Dorado. I wish Mark Lumen could
show along the way there.
I wish Mark Lumen could have came in and shared more about the. But Joe talked about it, and then Joe Gilbert. We lost him somehow. He just dropped out.
Mhm.
But anyways, we had a really good show. Thank you very much for coming in. I appreciate it. Hopefully, you have a chance to do some flying or work on your shop, and come back Friday and tell us